Paddy's gearing up for Cheltenham with this incredible horse racing offer. For the first 5 races every day of the Cheltenham Festival, it's money back as a free bet if your horse finishes second. Max £20 per race. T&Cs apply. 18 plus gambleware.co.uk.
Hi there, you're listening to the Racing Postcast with Bruce Millington, Graham Rodway, David Jennings and Paddy Power's Frank Hickey. And we're looking ahead to Sunday's card at Leopardstown. And the big name horse on the card is Identity Thief. He meets the very exciting Great Field in the 340 at Leopardstown. And David Jennings, what do you think will happen?
I'm a bit like Graham here. I don't really know. I think Identity Thief will probably win. We'll come to Frank now, and we were talking before we came on why he's not running in the Grand Annual at the festival, because you think his mark is quite lenient for what he's achieved. You have to remember he's a Grade 1 novice hurdler who beat Petit Mouchoir, so the form is really, really good, and he's got a mark of 143 over fences. But I just get the impression that Identity Thief is a little bit classier than him. And I know from talking to Henry, he unseated his rider at the first to last day, and I was completely against him in that race because I thought he had too much to prove. But he's taken a significant drop in class here, and I think he'll probably win, even though I never like tipping or backing Identity Thief, but I think he'll probably win.
Who do you think will win this one, Frank?
As Dave was saying there, I'm absolutely flabbergasted that Don't Touch It isn't going for the Grand Annual. He got a handicap mark in Ireland of 143. You'd be guessing Phil Smith probably bumped him up to 146 or something.
Can he not run in both?
He's not even entered.
Oh, he's not entered, no.
Which I can't believe. I think he would have been close to a steering job off that kind of a mark.
He would have been favourite.
Oh, 100%. I was saying it around the office. He was like 20 to 1, when the betting went up first, and I was like, this is going to be a plot, your typical JP one. But there must be a reason why they're not taking him to Cheltenham. I'd fancy him, particularly with Mark Walsh picking Don't Touch It over Great Field. I'd fancy him to beat Identity Thief. Woodland Opera is interesting enough in there too, but Don't Touch It ran at Christmas behind Blue Rouge and Gangster, and he travelled much the best of them that day. Just he didn't get home from the back of the last. He had nothing left. 2 miles of his trip, and I think he might be a little bit of value against Identity Thief.
It's a decent enough heat, isn't it? Just 9 days before Cheltenham. You got a view, G-Rod?
Well, Identity Thief's been a bit of a disaster, hasn't it? The chasing the last couple of starts. I mean, they must be absolutely gutted because he looked really good. I was just surprised, like Frank said, that Jody McGarvey rides Great Field and Mark Walsh is on the other one. To my eye, anyway, purely on form, Great Field. I'd much prefer back in that one.
Jody rode Great Field at Goran, so maybe
there's not a lot in it, and I suspect that might be might get a bigger price.
So a few quid on Great Field for you,
yeah,
G-Rod,
why not?
Okay, yeah, why not indeed. 410 is the TRI Equestrian Handicap Chase. DJ, who wins?
Really like one here, Bruce. Number 6 on your race card, Barely Legal. That's trained by Carl Thornton, ridden by David Mullins. Off a mark of 123. Fancied it to run really well at the Irish Champion Hurdle meeting. It was 4 to Catlap. Off 123, but it just jumped deplorably down the back straight. It did terrifically well to only be beaten just over 6 lengths that day. I think hopefully that run will bring him on. If he jumps a little bit better, David Mullins a good book and only 11 stone, loves Leopardstown. I think Barely Legal ticks a lot of boxes.
Frank?
I have no strong opinion on this, Bruce, to be honest.
Okay, well, let's look at the rest of the Leopardstown card. David Jennings, fancy anything else?
I do indeed, yeah. In the opening race, I'm all over Tycoon Prince, who I think needs to win to hopefully get into the county hurdle. He's only rated 136, and he's number 47 on the list in the county hurdle. He's a bloody good horse that they think a lot of. He's had a lot of problems, but 136 doesn't even start to tell you how talented this horse is. Now, he's a ton to find on official ratings with Diakali and Hidden Cyclone, but I think he could end up being as good as them, so I think he needs to win that opening race. That's the 210, and in the 240, a horse that's crying out for a step up and trip is Harold Pito, trained by Alan Fleming for Barry Connell, ridden by Dennis O'Regan. I think that he just needs 2.5 miles. I thought he ran well the last time at Leopardstown, and I think he'd be very hard to beat.
Frank, anything for us at Leopardstown?
Yeah, that first race is a cracker from the point of view, probably for the future in mind, with Arco is Arco, I don't know how to pronounce it, of Willie Mullins making his first start. He's been a bit of a hype horse. I assume there's going to keep him over hurdles.
Ruby's riding the other one now.
I know Ruby's riding the other one, which is interesting, and Diakali then Townend's on, so they'd be ones to keep an eye on. I agree with David. Tycoon Prince might win that. Mellon backers will be watching Broken Soul keenly enough in the second race. If he gets turned over again, it might be a negative towards Mellon. I wouldn't be surprised if Harold Pito beat him, so I go in with Dave there. And I wouldn't be shocked in the 310 if Joshua Lane turned the form around with Grand Partner, if his jumping can sharpen up a small bit. He'll probably be second fav to grand partner, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he turned the form around.
Graham, have you got any Sunday fancies? There's a meeting at Huntingdon that features a listed mares chase.
Yeah, I didn't look at it, I must admit. Huntingdon is quite a local course to me, but I am working sadly on Sunday, so I won't be able to get up there. But yeah, no strong fancy.
So you're going to duck out. So so the weekend plans? You're working Sunday, yeah?
Working Sunday.
What about tomorrow? Can you get some shut-eye, do you think? Freshen up a bit.
Oh, I wish I could. Yeah, that would help.
Is he a good sleeper, little Ewan?
He is.
Is he Ewan or Evan?
Evan, yeah.
Evan, sorry, mate.
The only problem is that when he does wake up, which is once every 2 or 3 hours, he wakes the other one up.
Oh, really?
Because the rooms are quite close. So, and the other one's harder to get down. Once he's awake, he wants to get up and go play. So,
nightmare.
So yeah, it's quite tough at the moment. But I've got the mother-in-law staying as well, which is obviously great fun. So yeah, it's all hard work at home at the moment.
Oh, that's a shame.
But hopefully I'll be able to watch the racing.
This is bad, really, because you've gone through the having children thing, and you're just going through all the hard yards. Frank's just got married. David's going to be proposing to Aoife in May, so you're going to be putting them off here. I mean, can you put in a positive word for fatherhood?
There is a positive. The positive of the mother-in-law being over was that I did manage to get out to Chelmsford.
I didn't know what you were going to say there.
The positive is that
to see a Willie Mullins horse
I got out
running.
to Chelmsford. There was a Willie Mullins horse down there called PKC, but I just strangely bumped into these guys. They come over and they were showing me my column, telling me how badly my tips had run there that evening, which was great, obviously. Especially as one of them had virtually refused to race, missed the break by 15 lengths, which I did, put him right on. But there was a girl there who she said to me, "What's going to win the next race?" And I said, "If I'd bet the second favourite." She said, "No." She said, "The favourite will win." She said, "I work in the yard. It's absolutely flying. Did a great piece of work the other day." Well, this thing came out, and it's the easiest winner you're going to see, won by like 8 lengths. And I said, "Well, what's the best horse in the yard you've got?" This is Jeremy Nasida's yard. She said, "Tranquil Star." She said, "This could win the Oaks." She said, "He's really good."
Blimey.
So that's a one for the tracker.
That's a tremendous story, isn't it? We went from childbirth and not sleeping to the mother-in-law to Chelmsford to Tranquil Star winning the Oaks for Jeremy Nasida in June.
Never run. She's never run.
That's amazing. Right, a quick one before we go. What's the last Cheltenham bet you had? David Jennings.
Shantou Village in the Brown Advisory Plate.
Okay.
Frank? Are you coming to our weekend plans? No.
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 We'll do weekend plans. What have you got, David?
Sorry, no.
I don't really give a toss
plans,
what you're doing, but go on.
It's just interesting. Last year I was at a preview night in the Sunnybank pub in Dublin, and the guy that owns the pub, Peter Garvey, did a lucky 63 with my tips on the first day, and he won like 50 grand.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That preview night is on
tonight. He gave you a
tonight.
free pint, didn't he, or something?
No, I got a suit out of it in the end.
Did you?
Yeah. No, very nice suit. But that preview night is on tonight, and it's Good Enough panel with David Casey, and our old colleague Johnny Ward is there as well, and Tony Martin.
Excellent stuff. And then anything nice? Has he got any David Jennings time?
No, it's all. I've that preview night tonight, and then tomorrow night I've one in the Cross Guns pub in between Navan and Nobber after racing, and I'm working in Navan tomorrow, and I'm working in Leopardstown on Sunday, so it's all work.
It's all go. What about you, Frank?
I'm going to a stag in Limerick tomorrow.
Oh yeah. What's Limerick like for a stag?
Desperate.
I've never been there, to be honest. The lads are going mountain biking early in the day. But sure, I'm married now, so I'm just letting myself go, so there's no point in doing any exercise like that.
Have you had any instructions from Jill? She wants you in bed by match of the day.
No, just come back alive. That's about it.
Well, you should be able to manage that, shouldn't you?
Yeah, geez, I've done it this far now, so I assume I can do it one more night, like so.
And who was your most recent Cheltenham bet, Frank?
Geez, I haven't had one in a while. I will. I did one about 8 weeks ago.
All right, who's your next one going to be?
Yeah, I probably need to run down the shop now before this goes out, but Barney Dwan in the Pertemps is a ludicrous price at 33 to 1.
Is he? Well, absolutely, my computer is near your betting shop, so I'm going to get straight on and kill the price.
Yeah, it's just like when you're looking at, to be fair, is 6 to 1 fav. No, that won't go off 6 to 1 a day, but Barney Dwan's £12 better off for the Warwick run, and arguably could have beaten him that day. So yeah, he's a massive price.
Okay, and Frank, your most recent Cheltenham wager? No, Graham, sorry, mate, go on.
Limini for the champion hurdle.
Oh,
I don't
no.
see.
She's drifting like mad now, isn't it?
She has no chance.
No, she will win. Yeah, she's absolute top class. I was so impressed with the way she won last time. Thrashed Apple's Jade. I could be wrong, but if she runs,
you're definitely wrong.
if she runs and Ruby rides, she will not be anywhere near 6-1. She'll be almost favourite.
Really?
I think so.
Do you know what? I was at a lunch on Monday and Nicky Henderson was there, and he put up a very compelling case for my 10 or yours. And I actually backed my 10 or yours. I felt really bad about myself doing it because I was thinking, hang on, it's 2017, but he was adamant that it was going to run well. So
did he had too much?
No, he hadn't, because he does dry February.
Does he really?
He hadn't had a drink. Yeah, and he said, look, whatever happens, coming to the last, he will be bang there where he always is. Now, I don't know what's going to happen after that, but I've seen he's 33-1. I think it's a massive price. So there you go. All right then, chaps, thank you very much for your expertise. Thank you for listening, and we're back on Monday to review the weekend.
Get Cheltenham ready with Paddy Power's new and exclusive Cash Card Plus. Get instant access to your winnings straight from the ATM. You can get your money in less time than it takes for another horse to pull out of the festival. Paddy Power, you beauty!